it on? It's John Hess here, Filmmaker IQ. Welcome to the stream, the live stream on June 23rd, Sunday. It is a sweltering oven here in Southern California, and my studio space especially is got to be in the 90s. It is like I am in a sauna, so I probably will not be streaming for too long today. Welcome to the viewers. Say hi in the chat. So let's jump to the topic because I put the topic on the video, the title of the video. Might as well just jump into it, right? No futzing around, diddling around, or talking about stuff around it. Let's just jump right into the title. Have I talked about the title yet? No, I'm joking here. Okay, so let's talk about Bridgerton. Bridgerton is a show that was first recommended to me by the wife of my friend, Claire. Oh, she's watching. Maybe she's watching. How you doing? So she recommended the show to me, and obviously I had been kind of familiar with it as far as like seeing hints of it here and there. And sure, so, I sort of made fun of it as sort of a Jane Austen style. It's something for women to watch. Let's be honest. It's a period piece about relationships and women. And she's like, no, it's good. It's really good. Okay, all right. And I kind of made fun of Bridgerton, and that's the way it was. Is this streaming okay coming through, or am I getting some weird artifacts of stuff here? Let's see. Let's roll this in here. I know I'm keeping the suspense talking. Yeah, it says excellent condition. I don't know what's going on here. So, well, then I was talking to another girl here, and things were going very well in our chats, and she recommended that I watched Bridgerton. So I have two women telling me that I need to watch Bridgerton. So as a man that's not afraid of his feminine energies, I went ahead and pulled up Bridgerton, and I gotta say, I quite enjoy it. So I think the way to describe Bridgerton for all us guys here that are all the non-womb carrying members of my audience, the ones with the protrusion in the nether regions, right? What is Bridgerton? Bridgerton sounds so stuffy. Okay, so if you've watched Downton Abbey, I know there's some straight males that watch Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey, imagine Downton Abbey, but way more steamier, a lot more sex, and a lot more like cutting, sarcastic Maggie Smith type wit. That's kind of what Bridgerton is. It's so I've gotten through about the 6 episodes or maybe 5 episodes of the first season. Almost done with the first season, so I'll probably wrap that up later this week, and I'll get through some more. But basically, it's about this family called the Bridgertons, and they are kind of a well-to-do. I have no idea what they're not necessarily titled royalty. They're not like dukes or anything like that. They're just wealthy, and I don't know how they got their wealth. The father is dead. It's like 3 brothers and like 6 sisters. I don't know, two major sisters, older sisters, then 2 younger sisters, 2 younger brothers, and all that stuff. And it's all about the season. The season is coming, and who's going to be married? Then the youngest daughter, Daphne Bridgerton, and he seeks to have a husband, and she goes to see the Queen Charlotte, and the Queen says, "You are a most divine diamond in the rough." And of course, now all the suitors are coming, and they're all like trying to get her attention, but none of them can win her heart, and she becomes like down to the bottom. And then she meets up with the Duke of Hastings, Simon, the Duke of Hastings, and they have a meet cute, and they don't necessarily get along each other, but they pretend to have a little ruse to pretend to like each other very much so that he can get people off his tail, so that people aren't like, hitting on him, and she can also avoid. She can make other suitors attracted to her. So that is basically the plot line of the first series of episodes. I won't go any more. But that's basically what it is. But it's the thing I liked about the show. It's a very beautiful to look at. So it's high. The production values are super high in this thing. I do have my sound on, right? Yeah, I do have my sound on. Just not seeing anybody in the chat. Usually chat comes in long here. So say hi in the chat if you're on. But anyhow, So at least the first arc of what I've seen so far is the romance between these two. I mean, if you've been around alive long enough to have seen a romantic comedy, you know that anytime two leads don't like each other at the beginning, they're gonna fall in love. So that's basically what the first episode. So if you're interested in that, I mean, high production value. Yes, Netflix labels it as mature audiences only. There's sex, nudity, and there is some nudity. Definitely is nudity in it. Nudity, sex, and smoking. So I know a lot of people are very skittish about smoking. If you have a problem watching people smoke, there is a little bit of smoking in this period piece. For those people that I think there's the one thing of commentary for people that might there is some race swapping. There's a lot. I mean, the cast is very diverse, which I think for something like this, which is I don't feel like this is based on any historically accurate time period. Why not go for it? Like just have all kinds of races in there, and there's like Asian court musicians. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool to see. So I'm down with that. So anyhow, that's my thoughts so far on Bridgerton. I've only like 5 episodes in, so I need to keep going. And shall continue. I hear that it gets actually even better as we get to season 3. So I'm still back on season 1. All right. I'm not seeing any comments. Oh, we finally got a comment. Here we go. Thank you, Ashley, for showing that my comments work. In the newest season of Doctor Who, they do a Bridgerton episode with transmorphing bird people. Well, that's a sell right there. Thank you very much for that. I have no idea what to respond to that. I'm not really that big a fan of. I've never ever seen an episode of Doctor Who. Believe it or not, I have not seen a single episode of Doctor Who. So, and it is hot in here, and so anyhow, that's my priming the pump, as far as I'm concerned. That's me like trying to get the conversation going. Are there any other comments? You usually get comments on here, but right now we're kind of slow and only got 8 viewers. Let's see. Do I have everything turned on right? Yeah, we're public, or is everyone just so hot today that everyone just decided to go to the beach? Because that was on my mind. That was legitimately on my mind. I've been wanting to go to the beach for a couple days. I just got my new medium format camera, the GFX 2. 50, the 50S, and I gotta say, I like it. I have not really had an opportunity to do what I really want to do with it, which is portrait photography. I want to do some portrait photography, maybe some modeling photography. I have not had a chance to do it. Okay, Ashley says, it's kind of a train wreck mode right now, so it's great time to get into the show. The Doctor Who, I guess, I don't know. It's just crazy. Count for comment. Is it guilty pleasure or genuinely good? I watch Pretty Little Liar. It is so bad it's good. Then I laugh at the audience. I think Bridgerton is genuinely good. So Bridgerton is very much it's a romance novel. It really is a romance novel. Legitimately, it is like I said, it's like Downton Abbey in that it is a story about relationships between people. It's not a hero's journey mission. There's not like, oh, I need to conquer this. There's a bad guy who's trying to take over the world. It's like, here is society. Here's, the woman, she wants to get married. That's her job as her role in the family is to be married. And she's looking for suitors. So that's her objective. And then here's a guy that really hates the idea of getting married. And you find out why, which is a legitimate reason. And so, they're dealing with each other's feelings. It's all about relationships. And there's a lot of this Maggie. If you watch Downton Abbey, you watch Maggie Smith, she'd always have a way in every scene of just like slicing and dicing through the whoever's around her. Like she would just sit there silently, and then, oh, do you mean comeuppance for the thing? And then be like, everyone's like, I can't believe she said that. Oh my, that was insane. That's peppered throughout the show. Also thing I found, what I got tired with Downton Abbey after a while was I realized how much of Downton Abbey was basically park and deliver your lines. Like it feels like every what I watched like the first three seasons of it, but then Downton Abbey sort of became like, okay, well we must go visit the Farthings over there on High Street Grove, to have a meeting and discuss what should be done with the maidservant, and they go, and then they play the music, the Downton Abbey music, and then they get to High Castle, Park on Avery, and then they're sitting there in a drawing room. Oh yes, so your maid, I understand, is to be betrothed to my valet, and yes, I understand that, and it's quite unfortunate because I believe the maid is the best of this kind. Yes, yes, indeed. And it was literally, the shots are just sit down and deliver your lines and move the story forward, like inch the story forward. That's the whole point. That's like the whole direction of Downton Abbey. But with Bridgerton, at least, there's a lot of clever production value. I mean, I feel like Bridgerton is less obsessed. Downton Abbey felt more like obsessed with very beautiful, like palatial, real places in England where they probably couldn't do a lot of actual, construction and altering the set. Whereas Bridgerton is literally almost like a fantasy. I don't think. I mean, maybe some of the stuff is based on real life, but it feels like Bridgerton's very much like, this is our fantasy vision of this time period, and we're just gonna do whatever we're gonna do with it. And so there's a lot of actually good production value in Bridgerton that makes it visually appealing. I mean, the first episode has a whole fireworks sequence that's very pretty and very very, very. What's that? Well, I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to think of. Very comically over the top, sort of pretty. Remember to drink water, something I should do, but unfortunately I don't have any, and I'm not going to be drinking this right now. So maybe when they grow up and start behaving like nagging with, can somebody think of the children, Helen Lovejoy style. When they grows up and starts behaving like more nagging, can they? Oh, Pretty Liar. I want to see Downton Abbey, but it's Russian. I want to see I want to see a Downton Abbey with Russian. It's like the Vedkov. She wanted the maid. She was very, very down. She has only delivered 15 children. She has been a failure in our eyes. So there you go. Actually, should we stay at townhome or the country house? Yes. Yes, which you prefer to stay? Do you prefer to stay in the country, or do you prefer to stay in the city? Both have their advantages, of course. The country has its charms, its quietness, but unfortunately the service is just not as good out there. Like, you can only, my country home only has room for 10 servants. Seriously. I grew up with Hong Kong TVB dramas. One of my favorite aspects of Chinese period dramas made in the 1990s and 2000s. They contain all the prejudices and tradition that the Chinese had at the time. That's true. Yeah, I grew up. Well, I mean, I didn't understand. My mom watched a lot of those. Now, back in the day, my dad would say this, and I don't know if it's true anymore. My dad would say there was a law, at least in Taiwan, where you couldn't have a drama last longer than 30 days. I mean, that might have just been like a casual rule or something. I don't know if it was a law or something like that. But the reason being was my dad would joke that it's because the Taiwanese don't want people getting attached to a drama that lasted longer than 30 days. Not like Days of Our Lives, which has been going on for like 45 years. So, yeah. The CCP started making every historical politician as having 21st poli-sci degrees. I guess they don't follow that line through. But anyhow, that's what I was going through with Bridgerton. It is hot. It is really, really hot here. So I'm probably only going to stay on for an hour, but let's see. I've got 13 folks. Go ahead and comment. The conversation's been kind of light, and I'll say, to be honest, I am burning under these lights. If there's not a lot of commentary, we'll keep it kind of short. But I'll try to keep them on for an hour here. We can talk about something else. We can talk about something interesting. Let's see. Hey, there we got another person here. Martha Maglaya. He made it. How you doing? Welcome. So, well, I did get my GS3, my GS2, my GS50, my GST50 Fujifilm camera, and I'm very impressed with the camera quality so far. I really haven't had much time to play with it. I really want to do portraitures with it. That's like I want to do something where I can make the camera shine. I haven't had any chance other than doing just basically walkabout shots of landscape, and I don't know. I'm not in love with doing that as much as I am with like something way more interesting. So I want to do some portraiture style. I was looking at this one. There's a one group model shoot that I was kind of interested in this weekend. Actually, would be happening today, but it was like it's going to cost like $180, and I was like, I want to spend that money on something where it's like a group shoot. Like, I don't know about that. So I decided not to do that. And right now, I'm still in the process of moving everything to my office, into my storage area, and I need to pull up. So I'm converting my mom's old bedroom and turning that into my temporary edit bay, which is upstairs. And the first thing did though, I got rid of this large dresser, and I got rid of another dresser. So I got some space. I got to go through and clean it all out now. And I'm definitely going to clear out or do new carpets. That's for dang sure. Which camera is this? The one you're watching me on is a C200 Canon. This is where you go to the bar and give a girl $5 to model for you. Doesn't quite work that way. I mean, I wish it were that easy, or maybe I just don't have I don't have the riz for it. I think usually that would get me a slap in the face. But it is Southern California. You never know. You never know. Right? I mean, I haven't really... Yeah, you can try it, though. Yeah, I know. I could try. But right now, I don't have the effort. I barely have the energy to do that. So, I mean, I want to get everything situated here. So first, I've got to move out of the studio here. I went ahead and agreed to do one more month of rent here, which is going to be $2,400. And just to give you perspective, when I first came to the studio to start making Filmmaker IQ videos, the first Filmmaker IQ videos were made in here in the studio. So this is going back like 9 years or so. The first ones I made my rent was $800 a month. Like seriously, $800 a month. And now next month, 8 years later, I'll be paying $2,400 a month for it. Like that's insane. So I'm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and move all my stuff into storage for now, and then I do need to keep my business afloat. So I do need to have my edit bay ready to go. So I will be doing that I'll be editing out of my house. I'm waiting for Frontier to come in and like Frontier to install fiber into my house so I can have fiber internet. Which will give me I'm getting a 2 gig package up and down, which is great for what I need. I need at least a gig. Like I need in the neighborhood of a gigabit up and down to work, especially up because I do a lot of online stuff. So I'll be doing that. I'm waiting for them to install it. Once they install it, I can start moving my edit bay into the house. But I'm not done yet because I need to wait till I'll be out of here end of July. So end of July is when I'm actually going to leave. Hey, Cinemas, you thought I was wearing a scuba suit. Yep, I'm wearing my muscle suit today. I finally found it. It was in the wash. Hello from UK. Hope your moving is going well. It's going. Like I that area over there. If I turn the camera, which I can't do, if I turn the camera over there, you'd see like a lot of stuff has been moved. So big stuff has been moved. I don't know. There's still a lot of little stuff around here. I may end up throwing up a lot of away. This week, unfortunately, I'm going to spend a lot. This week, I actually have work to do. Actually, these next 2 weeks, I actually have to have some work because next week, this week is a lot. I've got like two or three events Thursday and Friday, so I got to prep a lot of stuff, and we got a council meeting. Next week is the week of the 4th of July, which they have me doing a lot with the city about that. So these couple weeks I'm going to be kind of busy, so I won't have doing that much heavy lifting. Although I don't know, some of this stuff I'm just going to start tossing, just start moving, start clear cutting through this thing, because I've got to. So yeah, I am going to redo the flooring because the carpet is nasty. First of all, it is literally 30-year-old carpets that are on the floor right now, and when my mom was there, it's just grimy. It's like people tracking back and forth from the bedroom to the bathroom, back and forth. It's just like a black track. It's just nasty. I need to clear it out. So that's going to be the first thing I do. Then I can move the edit bay in there. So right now, I'm waiting for a quote on the flooring. I'll just okay that as soon as possible. And then, yeah, I had my backyard. I had my next door neighbor's gardener clear it, like literally cut everything down. And it's, wow, like I've got space. It's not as horribly overgrown and nasty back there. So started begin the process of designing a studio shed that'll go in my back. And I'm looking at about 320 square feet of space, which will include an edit bay and a little space that I can do like a little photo studio, or I can do like green screen studio setup, so I can do some sort of shooting there as well. The idea, of course, I think would be to do Filmmaker IQ videos there, but also do live streaming from the edit bay, which will make it even easier, because then I'll be able to, I might even up the streams to like 2 or 3 times a week. I think that would be probably better. It takes YouTube a little more seriously, and continue on like that. Right now, I'm sorry, it is burning hot in here. It is so burning hot. There you go. Try to ask, will your moving impact your streaming? So the impact of the moving, once I move, like I'll probably have to just change the way I do the stream. Hopefully I can get my edit bay going in my office relatively soon. I can start streaming from the edit bay rather than here. Now, I'm not going to keep this set up, just because this is a lot of space, and it feels kind of like very, very one goal oriented, right? So I'll probably repurpose these TVs as like TVs in my office just for fun, or I might give them to a friend or something like that. So yeah, everything's going to change. It's not going to be the same look and the same style, but I'll try to keep doing Sundays. If I can move over into streaming from my house, I think the goal would be try to improve and increase the number of streams I do, because then I'll literally just be in my house, right? So I have to be, I'm open to what people's thoughts on, maybe I do late night streams. I don't know. I'm usually up pretty late. But the thing is, the problem with me doing streams is I tend to have a weird schedule. So sometimes, I work. Sometimes I'll do a concert on Sundays, and I can't do a Sunday stream. Sometimes I'll do concerts on Saturdays. Sometimes I have a Monday night thing, or sometimes I have a Wednesday night thing. It's like so weird. So it's hard for me to have a very good consistency. Although, I guess if I just really, really, dug down in my heart and just like said, all right, Tuesday nights I'm going to stream, or something like that. Or maybe one of those things where I literally like, maybe if I do late night, late nights are maybe more possible, because if I do like a 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. stream, that might make more sense. Although then the East Coast Americans would not be able to see it, because that'd be super late. So anyhow, my goal is to also take YouTube more seriously this year, and my gigs allow me to get an FX6, which makes my production workflow so much faster. Well, that's good. So I warn you about YouTube. YouTube giveth and YouTube taketh away, right? Because I was doing quite well. I mean, I was doing better than I was. I was getting like $500 a month, and now it's down to like 150. And it's just, I think maybe the algorithm saying, hey, you shouldn't be making those old videos of yours shouldn't be getting as many views as they are. So they just start just cut it way down. So I don't know, streaming, all that stuff. I don't know. YouTube is one of those things where it's like, I think people or filmmakers can get this incorrect sense that the better the equipment, the better the YouTube stream. That's obviously not true. Like there's a threshold of quality you need to meet for YouTube, which is pretty dang low. Let's be perfectly honest. Once you get beyond that level of quality, it's really about the person, right? It's really about like how you interact with people and how people relate to you and how we connect. So, I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking about maybe going back and redoing some lessons and just doing like a newer totality of lenses, a video about really understanding lenses that maybe incorporates everything that I've learned over the last few years. We'll see. Count for Comment says, on cinematography, I was planning to watch Shogun because I've been playing Total War Shogun 2, but the colors are dark tone. The old series are much brighter colors. Yeah, maybe. Is there a reason why some series with digital filming now favor kind of look? I found the film much brighter and vivid because they can. I think because largely, I think HDR has a lot to do with it. High dynamic range. Like I think people get inside these HDR coloring suites, and there's so much you can do with HDR. Like the brightness and the darkness levels are so vast that they can kind of like really, really push it. And then when it's translated down to standard dynamic range, it just loses some things. So it just feels like it's weird. Same with the UK. It's currently 23:40, so it's pretty late over there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see. Probably end up doing something like both. Maybe like late night stream one night and then like a Sunday chat or something like that. So we'll see. It is. I'm sorry, but it is sweltering here. It is really hot. I'm definitely going to be going. My plan was to stream for a little bit. I think I'll stream for an hour, and then I'm going to go to the gym and go not sit in the jacuzzi, but I'm going to go swimming because it is hot. I got myself some of the swimming ear thingies, so I could like listen to a podcast or listen to my audiobook. And I just figured out how to get the audiobook working on there. So I got an audiobook called Attachment, which is about attachment theory. And if you're interested in like actual, I think something that's very fascinating is the whole attachment theory. And it's definitely going to influence how I would write a romantic characters going in the future. Like there is a lot of research. I mean, there's research and study about it, but I think it's actually very valid, surprisingly valid. But anyhow, any other comments here? Did you watch me sweat without any water? Without any water to sustenance to maintain me? Everybody's all talking about the Hak Tua girl on Twitter. Everybody's on my Twitter at least. Very secure attachment style there. Oh my gosh, it's hot. 21 viewers. Drop a hi, drop a comment. Say hi. Tell me, insult me even if you want to insult me. I don't care. I just want the attention. Otherwise, I will probably have to cut short because this is. I didn't realize how hot it would be in here. Lights don't help. Even though they are LEDs, they're Cobb LED, and lights do transmit heat because they are energy. So I'm starting to burn up here. All right. Well, let's see. What can I talk about while I wait for your chats to come flying in? Let's see here. Well, we got one coming in. Best period drama. There you go. Best period drama for mine is the Godfather trilogy. Let's see. Period drama. Oh, I would pick, because I like this period, is I like what's the name? Hail Caesar? Yeah, Hail Caesar. I'll pick Hail Caesar. I like that movie. Hail Caesar, maybe along those lines of Coen Brothers, or maybe Oh Brother Where Art Thou, because it's such a fun movie. The Paterfamilias. And talking to the Paterfamilias. I am the Paterfamilias. Oh Brother Where Art Thou. What other period dramas can we think of that would be fun? Let's try to think. If we want to go for something more like British or something, I don't know. I just like the whole 40s era. I like if there was a time I can go to, if I could be transported into a filmmaking time. Actually, if there's a period of filmmaking I could be transported to, it would be the 1920s. Like the 1920s filmmakers were just insane. Like, to be fair though, I probably wouldn't fit in because I'm not all white and all that stuff. So, the race stuff might be a little bit of a challenge for me. But, like, that time period with, like, Rudolph Valentino and the girl with the golden locks, what's her name? And her boyfriend then turned husband. Like, it was such a crazy time, and they were just wild parties. Like in some ways, that's what pissed me off about that movie Babylon, was that Babylon kind of got in the right direction of what was happening, but it is so tone deaf and so ugly and nasty that I don't think it quite really got to it. Like but Babylon's era was, I mean, that's what I hated about the movie, because it was like, it's such a great topic, it's such a great period, but it's so just missed the mark that it's making me angry. So I don't want to talk about Babylon. Don't make me talk about Babylon. Count Crown is my favorite TV series of all time. Is Romance of the Three Kingdoms, 1984. Since you're half Taiwanese, ever watch it? No, I haven't. I've heard of it though. Like, I remember seeing it, and I remember, like, there's a video game called Romance of the Seven Kingdoms, I believe. So it's like all different kinds of kingdoms. ISO Facker says, I was reading about the 7-Up company that was sold to PepsiCo in 1978. Excuse was a movie, The 7-Ups of 1973. So 7-Up for about years had citric lithium, which is used as a mood stabilizer. Oh, wow. Really? I did not know that. Hopefully that's true. Citric lithium. That's why you got up when you did 7-Up. It's like along the lines of putting Coke in Coca-Cola. You know? Oh, down for some Coca-Cola. Ooh, my brain is sweltering, guys. It is hot. You're watching a man melt on stream. We got 20 viewers now. We're up to 20. Say hi in the chat. Ask me something you have a burning question about, or if you want to burn along with me, and we'll all burn together in this sweltering heat. After I'm done, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to jump in that pool. I'm going to be like, yes. And here's the thing, like, you know, in California, like, you know, all you guys are not from California, you're like, oh, California is a land of swimming pools and Hollywood movie stars. I'm like, dude, the last thing I want to own is a swimming pool. I do not want to own a swimming pool. Now, I do want to own a spa. That's on my long-term plan. Like, I do want to own like a jacuzzi kind of thing, just because I think the ladies would like the jacuzzi. Pretty sure they would. So I do want to own one of those. But a pool, no, thank you. Like, I just legitimately have no desire to own a pool. However, I do want to go to the pool. But I don't want to own it, because I don't want the maintenance. First of all, it's a shit ton of maintenance. Like, you have to constantly be putting chemicals and stuff in it. I just don't want that hassle. And number two, it takes up so much space in your backyard. Like, you can't have anything else. It's like you have a pool, and that's like your entire backyard. Oh, I got a big giant pool. Now look, I got a pretty big backyard. I'm going to fit a 300 square foot shed in my backyard, and I still have space left for a garden and all that crap. So I get it. I have space, but I'll never want a pool. I just never want a pool. I'm looking at getting a light meter for location. Do you have any recommendation? Would you know I know some of them are hella expensive, so maybe half a middle. So if you want a light meter, Seconic is probably your go-to light meter. You can get one. It's going to be the $600 range. If you want a decent one, it's $600 or so. Seconic is the model you want to talk about. There's something called, I think it's LS something or another. I would recommend those. They're pretty decent. They've got both incident reading and also spot meter reading. So get one that has both. Now, you may or may not need or want the flash ability to do flash. Like here, they do. So they sell a model that's more geared towards cinematography versus the model that's more toward photography. Photography allows you to kind of pop into a pocket wizard and use it to check your flash and all that. I've never used a cinematography one. I just imagine the cinematography one makes the cost go way up, because the $700 one will get you the one for like photography, and it also does cinematography, but it doesn't have all the cinematography stuff about, features. Although I'm not sure what the cinematography features are. So I would say the Seconic is probably the better one, or is the brand I'll be looking at. I've got it somewhere in my studio here. I just haven't moved it yet. But I would recommend that one, and it's an LS model. I forget what it is, and yeah, it's really good. If you want to go cheaper than that, they do make like things that you can put on your phone and then use your phone as a light meter. So maybe like little light reader, and they'll go into your phone. Those are probably about $200 maybe or so. And that would be the lower version. And if you want to go higher, there's cinematography ones Sekonic also makes. Now there you go. Count for comments. There's a scene where there's 100 of men being completely naked, pubic hair and all, crossing a stream of dying of poison. Could not ever see it be made. No CG or camera work. This is very gruesome. You're talking about Romance of the Three Kingdoms, huh? Well, that just sold it. Everyone just go out and watch the movie with hundreds of men completely naked, pubic hair and all, crossing the stream and dying of poison. That's, like, there's nothing more than like to spend a lazy Saturday with my girl and our 2.5 kids and our dog, watching 100 men completely naked, pubic hair and all, crossing a stream and dying of poison. That is some. If you just joined us today for our stream, the topic of discussion is 100 naked men, completely naked, pubic hair and all, crossing a stream and dying of poison. Could not see it ever being made. No CGI at all, camera trick. It's very gruesome, but it is absolutely the pinnacle of cinema, peak cinema, if you will. Peak cinema is hundreds of naked men, pubic hair and all, crossing a stream and dying of poison. Boy, I really want to see that movie. I should star that comment so I can come back to it, because that is probably the most awesome comment. How is the studios turning? I just haven't done time to do any of that. You have to remember it's measuring light, so the calibration fluctuate with the price as well when you're thinking about buying one. There you go. Yes, the light fluctuates in the price. Or you're talking about the actual light meter. As far as what the cinematography the light meter that fluctuates the light, perhaps, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think a light meter is one of those tools, for me at least. It's a very cool tool to teach me about how to light. Like, I think the light meter for my workflow and the kind of work that I do, the light meter taught me how to see light better. But my workflow and the work I do, I don't actually need a light meter. But I'm glad I bought one, because I'm glad I learned how it means. Now, if I did like a serious work, like a show or something a little more, I don't know. I keep saying this, right? I keep saying I want to shoot something where I take it a little more seriously cinematography-wise. But even then, I know I feel like if I did that, I'd still be in this mindset, this workflow of just get it done, move on. Like, the work I do is not so serious that I need to like write down the contrast ratios. Like, I just don't have that need in what I do, and it just slows me down. In fact, what I need to do is just do things quickly. So, but I keep saying I want to make a short film where all I do is focus on cinematography, or I could spend a whole day just working on a scene rather than trying to fit like 5 scenes in a single day. But, that's what it is. It is so hot that hell is coming over. Yep. NVIDIA has been leading tech company AI research, such as upscaling videos and frame rates in video games. Their stock value has exploded, and they are now the most valuable company in the world. I think the bubble will burst, like what happened to Microsoft and the companies in the 2000s. Well, the thing about that is, so I just read that NVIDIA just overtook Microsoft as the most valuable company. So it's like, well, the bubble burst, but Microsoft still was the number one company number one high value company. Anyhow, upscale resolution and frame rates in video games. NVIDIA's leader in the market. Have you guys seen? I guess there's a new there's a prototype of an AI camera out there. Here's the last comment from it. NVIDIA has been a leader in the area for many years, but the current hype really makes company value. I think what's more important is AI, is NVIDIA in the AI industry, right? I think that's like super. That's what's probably driving the value. Anyhow, but yeah. So yeah, there's an AI camera out there. It's being prototyped. And what it is it's a camera with an infrared sensor, and it basically takes images and it throws it to the cloud, and then it stable diffuses the video, and he sends back, and then you can like you have a video of your video you shot, essentially. The thing it only does like 12 frames per second, and it seems to me like a complete waste of time. But that's just my opinion. Oh, sorry, that's just my opinion. It's a complete and utter waste of time. Like I see it. I don't know. You know, I was down the road where I was doing the AI stuff, and I was watching some of these channels that were like these AI channels talking about AI. And now I haven't watched them in a while. I came back and watched them, and like man, like those AI bros are just so like outside of reality. Like once you step out of reality for a little bit, or if you're in the realm of AI and you're kind of watching and you're kind of into it for a bit, then you step back out of it, and then you come back then you come back and look at what's happening in AI, and you're like, you guys are delusional. You guys are literally delusional. I just use the scopes on my monitor for measuring a scene, histogram, RGB when needed. Yeah, I mean, I do too. I think more importantly with light metering, it's telling you like getting a sense of contrast ratios. Understanding where light's coming from and that kind of thing. We forget once you get really good at it, you forget like people that are new to like understanding how like light or shooting a scene. Like I teach these students and they don't understand at all lighting. Like they just don't get it, right? Like literally don't get like put a light over here, it's going to light this side of their face. Put a white piece of paper over here, it's going to bounce, right? This is like super second nature if you've been doing it for a while. But for people that are brand new, they don't even get that. They don't even quite even get that yet. So anyhow. I once saw a comment from VFX artists saying our clients want very specific things. It's very hard to do that with just AI prompts. 100% true. Tech bros are especially selling illusions and overhyped stuff being delusional. Tech companies thrive on this. Yeah, like this one guy. Trying to name Curious Android or something like that. I think it was. I don't want to call it's not the Curious Droid because I like that guy. Is it Curious Android? I gotta find this out. I don't want to call out the wrong guy. Whatever. Anyways, he's like a Curious Refuge or something like that. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, Curious Refuge. Like, I got so sick of his videos because he was like, "Oh, we are months away from this being screen ready," and dude, we are not months away from being. We are decades away from this. It may never be ready for ready to go. Hey, it's Truth Mystery. Overhyping aside, I think that some machine learning models are positioned to take over a good number of jobs. Sure, but then again. Whatever. I mean, I guess maybe that's what McDonald's is trying to do by getting rid of all their employees, basically. Do you think that sometime if the world's population is 8 billion, at some point 8 billion people will die? No, I don't think so. 400,000 cast and crew members, not a million people. There you go. Or 56 million people may have to die in the Three Kingdoms era. The series had 1 million people being involved with 400,000 casts. Epic and unforgettable. Oh, that's cool. What was I saying? About AI. So I went to an art class yesterday. So we were working on practicing drawing realism. And I think, to be fair, I did a better job than the instructor. But anyhow, there's this one girl that shows up to these art classes, and I think her name's like Wanda or something. And she just talks the whole time. She just like talks and talks and talks. And to be frank, it starts getting a little annoying. It's like, girl, how can you you're not drawing. Draw. Maybe keep the conversation down to a little, minimum. But it goes on. And then, the conversation starts turning things like, first it was like ghosts in the Winchester Mystery House. And it was like, the ghosts in the Mystery House. And then it started getting to AI. And it's like, talk about AI, The thing is, though, like what Matthews was saying, if you want to change anything in AI, you need a human because the AI doesn't understand how to change anything. So there's going to be artists artist is going to be an AI wrangler, basically. So yeah, I'm getting tired of talking about AI all the time. It's like, you guys promised me that I would lose my job to AI like 3 months ago. I'm sure you would. I'm sure you guys would watch an AI stream, right? You'd watch the AI stream. Well, I mean, certain AI streams I would. I watched a Trump versus Biden debate AI stream that was very entertaining, to be frank. Like, that was just funny. I mentioned a few months ago you're interested in making a video about how 32-bit float is not needed when you understand how to record. Oh, 20. And am I still planning on it? Well, not right now, because right now my moving is the number one priority. But yeah, thanks for reminding, because that would be a good video. Once I get everything kind of situated, I think it would be fun to do like a video about how to record audio in a 24-bit situation where you don't need 32-bit float. I think that's a great idea for a video. I just haven't had time to do anything really. Yeah. Matthew says the most mundane, repetitive, tedious task for AI. Absolutely. Identify it would take those kind of mundane, tedious jobs, and I don't doubt it'll be confined to that type of thing. Of course not. But the thing is, you got to remember, like, it's like everything in society is always think chess, not checkers. So what do companies do? They'll make those moves. They'll try to replace people with AI. They'll find it absolutely creates a disaster, and then they'll end up hiring people back again. I mean, it's a tale as old as time, thought as old as rhyme. AI and the marketplace. Okay. Yeah, recording native 20 dB gives you headroom to capture audio as you rise the company. No need for 32-bit float. Thus, no need for So the theory behind the minus 20 dB, and again, it's also partly understanding the problem I think most people have is they don't know, when they say minus 20 dB, they don't understand what that means. And I'm going to be very guilty here in that I'm going to sort of play with your lack, with people, not just you, but like people's lack of understanding of exponential systems. So a 10 dB increase is a 10 times increase in the volume, the pressure volume of audio. So when I'm talking to this microphone, my voice is creating pressure waves, and the pressure waves hits this diaphragm in the microphone, and it causes some electromagnetic disturbances. This is a condenser microphone, so it would be probably a charged electric plate. So it causes the plate to kind of do this, and it creates a little bit of electrical signal, right? That's how a microphone works. So 10 dB would mean I need to increase the pressure I'm talking to the microphone 10 times. Okay, 10 times more than the microphone than what I'm doing now. So I need to put 10 times more energy. Now that might sound like a lot, and it is a lot. If I just stood right here, for me to increase 10 dB 10 times, it would be, I could do it, but it would need me to raise my voice. 20 dB doesn't mean 20 times, it means 100 times. So I need to increase the volume, the pressure that I'm creating 100-fold in order to get the microphone to go over the clipping range. So think of that. I need to generate 100 times more energy. Okay? So that sounds like a lot, and it is actually a lot. If I kept my face here and I kept my distance to the microphone here, then yes, creating 100 dB increase is going to be very, very difficult, if not almost impossible to do. Now, the counteract to that is distance matters. So if I reduce the distance by half, I double my energy. If I get even closer, I 4 times my energy. So yes, if I get right on the mic and talk like this, I don't need to increase my voice 100 times. I can only increase my voice 25 times to reach that. So distance obviously plays into it. But if you're using proper distances, if you're using, if you're in a normal situation, normal everything, 20 dB is going to be very hard to clip. Very hard. Not impossible, but very hard. Now the other argument I would make, that anything that does clip, if you've got all that stuff right, if you got your distance right, you got your level set right, anything that is clipping beyond that is something you're probably not going to want in the audio anyway. You probably want to cut that anyway. So if somebody came in and like shot a gun in the air and you're trying to record someone's dialogue, it's like, well, you don't really need that gunshot. Like you weren't trying to get that gunshot. Anyhow, there are always some carrots to follow as good consumers. There you go. The most impressive videos I've seen at figure skating shorts. Beautiful. I can just watch the real person do it. Sure, I must have skipped some things. Movie Wise is an interesting YouTube channel. While he's very snobbish and puts the golden era in a pedestal up so above modern cinema, he hates Nolan. He has great analysis. There you go. The hype died down with the tech layoffs. ChatGPT being more than just ChatGPT more than a year. Yeah, I mean, I use ChatGPT as a therapist. I just literally talk to it all the time. Although, your point about movie, I haven't heard of the channel Movie Wise, but I mean, I would be curious if he saw the movie where there are 100 men being completely naked, pubic hair and all, crossing a stream and dying of poison. I would like that analysis on that movie. 100 naked men, pubic hair and all, crossing a stream, dying of poison. All right. From that joke to this, it is analogous to it is exactly the inverse square law. Yeah. So the inverse square law, I want to do a video about the inverse square law of light because it's actually quite interesting. To me, it is. I don't know. Maybe to no one else it is. But the inverse square law it has nothing to do with light, actually. It has everything to do with just the idea of propagating any kind of energy, right? So the way you can think about it is like take a balloon, right? And you draw like a square on the balloon. And then you blow up the balloon and you make it twice the radius. How big is that square going to be now, right? It's just that as you make a sphere bigger and bigger and bigger, the surface area becomes bigger and bigger. So basically, the relationship between the radius of the sphere, or the diameter of the sphere, and then the surface area increases as you go. So any kind of energy or any kind of wave, or even like a balloon, the surface area of a balloon, behaves exactly the same way in the inverse square law. It's exactly the same idea, right? So a light. Now, when you say inverse square law for light, now here's where it gets a little tricky. That means you're talking about like a candle. Like a light that's, like if I had a candle, then a candle behaves exactly like the inverse square law. If I take that light and I make it directional and I put a mirror on it and I put a lens on it, then it doesn't actually behave using the inverse square law. It will after a certain point. It will, because after a certain, like, enough of a distance, then it will start behaving the inverse square law. But closer up, it doesn't, because the light is now focused and more controlled. Like a laser. Laser is an example. So a laser does not behave like does not have the inverse square law up till you reach a certain distance. Then it starts to resemble it, right? Because the math becomes closer and closer. Yeah, like if you took a laser and I fired a laser from 5 feet and then I doubled it to 10 feet, you're not going to see a half drop off. You're not going to see much of a drop off at all. Because the idea with the lasers is that all the waves are kind of going in the same direction and it's the same kind of power. Yeah, just explain it on stream and video done. Yeah, I know, but I have graphics and all that stuff. Hey, Britcom, late to the chat. But happy to hear about your updates on the studio. Well, yeah, I'm working on it. I mean, right now it's in the process of moving. I'm in the process of clearing out my backyard and hopefully getting everything else ready. So, Rigel 7's here. Now we can begin the stream. So, Bridgerton, Downton Abbey with more sex. There you go. Watch it. It's fun. All the ladies love it. All the ladies seem to love it. So, if you want to talk to ladies, you got to start watching Bridgerton. Companies and studios will attempt to eliminate more jobs than what AI can actually eliminate, and they will fall flat on their faces. Studio executives are pretty stupid and blinded by greed. Well, I don't think they're blinded by greed. I just think that sometimes, I guess studio executives, yeah. Studio executives, like, they just don't... I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, and we're talking about how, like, Back to the Future is sort of it's a very interesting movie in that Back to the Future has a lot of elements. It's got that you got a funny scene that you can play up, like, oh, man travels back and gets hit on by his mom, who's hot, right? So hot mom. So you got that whole incest angle, and everyone loves the incest angle. All right, so you got that angle. You can play into the nostalgia 50s factor, because 1980s they had that nostalgia for the 50s. You got Happy Days, you got American Graffiti, you got all these shows that kind of like play into that nostalgia 50s, Grease, stuff like that. So Back to the Future is playing on that. You play on the hot mom. You got the crazy, the comic effect of the crazy scientist. You got the sci-fi angle, and it's just a story about. It's just a great, cool idea for a movie, and it's like an original idea, And nowadays, everything is so pre-calculated. And I really do blame Disney for the obsession with remakes, But the problem is, and here's the thing, I think the anger toward the executives might be a little bit unwarranted. You should be angry at the people, because like you're saying, like the studio executives are blinded by greed. Well, they're blinded by the fact that you idiots buy their fucking tickets to see these damn movies. And yes, I buy these tickets. I went and saw Incredibles 2. Granted, Incredibles 2, Inside Out 2 is, I think, a warranted sequel. I don't know. I just don't think Mufasa is. That's just my opinion. Caleb says, I don't know whether this question has been asked. Have you seen Fallout TV series? What's your favorite show on this year so far? I saw the first episode of Fallout. I liked it. I just didn't have any time to go back into it. I'm enjoying Bridgerton a lot. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's so far. Oh, Baby Reindeer. Baby Reindeer is my favorite show. I don't think I'll ever watch Baby Reindeer again, but Baby Reindeer was, in fact, really my favorite series so far. That show is just brutal. Brutal. Comfort, just an excuse. Layoffs are there to reduce costs and increase. Well, the thing is, okay, and I don't know. I feel like right now there is something of a malaise in culture. I mean, maybe brought on by the political season and all that, but it feels like right now that, and maybe it's also summertime in Southern California, so people in summertime sort of just like take off. But it feels like people aren't doing anything. Like I'll send out an email, and maybe I'm like this too, because maybe I'm slow to respond to emails. I think I am for certain people, but it's like, it's find it hard to get like answers out of people for things. So I don't know. So do I think the layoffs are coming? Do I think it's AI based? No, because I don't think the bosses of the companies know how to use AI. I really don't. Like I think the whole fear of AI comes from. Yeah, I think it's overhyped. I mean, I'm tired of talking about AI. I should just stop doing it. I should just stop talking about AI at least for another 3 months, because it's just like it's over and over and over again, and it's like everything that people worried about AI doing, AI taking away jobs and all that stuff. Okay, show me exactly how AI is taking jobs, and I'm sure. Well, the Hollywood writers, all right. I mean, maybe. I think really it's just because we've overextended ourselves. I think there's a lot of reasons for the layoffs that have nothing to do with AI. AI is just literally like they would have happened with or without AI. Anyhow, what I love about Movie Wise's analysis is how he talks about staging, the camera work, and sound composition. A great video of his no, old movies don't look like plays. Here's why. Only 6 minutes long. And I bet you he talks about the 100 naked men showing their pubic hair crossing a stream while dying of poison. I need analysis on that, especially movie wise. He needs to talk about 100 naked men with a pubic hair walking across a stream dying of poison. Back to the Future is definitely one of my favorite films. The whole trilogy is, yeah, I know. I haven't seen Back to the Future in probably a couple of years, but last time I were watching it in the movies at the park kind of a thing, and I remember just seeing how cartoony it was. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like how every movement was like squash and pull. Like whenever Marty McFly gets anywhere, it's always like, Doc, we gotta go. It's like everything's like he always. You notice every time Marty enters a room, he always oversteps it, He has to like bounce backward. It's like every action has that feel like this cartoony kind of thing. And so I saw Back to the Future on Broadway. I saw the play version of it, and it had Roger Bart playing the Doc. And there's a scene I thought they were like, we came to the conclusion that they were kind of improvising a little bit. They built a model of the town square from stuff he made in his kitchen. So he's like, "Hey Marty, check this out. I got a town square here. I made it with things I found in my kitchen." Like, "That's really good there. That's really good there, Doc. It's really amazing." "Yeah, I think it's really, really cool, isn't it?" And I was waiting for this line. He's like, "Yeah, I made this from a jar of ham, you know. And this, you see that pickle? You see that pickle, Marty? Oh, geez, Rick. Oh, geez, Doc. Yeah. What's that pickle represent? I'm a pickle. I'm a pickle, Marty. I'm a pickle. Oh, no, Marty. Oh, no, Doc. You're a pickle." Anyhow, I swear, they should have just leaned into it. They should have leaned into it and had Doc say he was a pickle. I don't know. Rick and Morty, I kind of feel like Rick and Morty kind of like messed up Back to the Future for me. Because now when I see, well, maybe it's just a play. Maybe I go back and watch the original movie, I won't feel that way. But like Rick and Morty just literally made me think of. Now I just get that voice in my head of Doc and Marty, Rick and Morty. Anyhow, sorry. I'm looking forward to more horror movies about AI going berserk. Yeah. Well, what's that one with a girl? What's the one with the girl? The little dancing girl? That little doll thingy? Anyhow. I think Incredibles 2 was sabotaged. The film was originally meant for 2019, and Disney cut 1 year into production by releasing it in 2018. You can see how much they rushed it. Probably. We have bombs and missiles and nuclear weapons, but a kind of intelligence that's great. But a kind of intelligence is a great threat. I don't even think that it's not really intelligence. It's literally just machines. So I was going to say about that. I was going to say something about AI, but I forgot. Whatever. Oh, nah, never mind. AI? What was I going to say? Other than that, it's boring. You know, like if you have, I mean, show of hands, really. How many people have incorporated AI into their actual work? Okay, like here's a question. Anybody here? How many people have actually incorporated AI into actual work? Like not just dinking around with it, but like actually, like for me, it was like creating a logo for a client. I used AI to help me create a logo for a client. How many people have actually created something with AI for a job, like where you actually got paid? Any show of hands? I want to say something controversial. If you haven't done that, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. It's not until you've actually had to work with AI that you understand what AI is capable of doing or not capable of doing at all. I'm going to tell you, if you haven't actually worked with AI for a job, then yeah, a small indie film great about AI turning bad, The Terminator. Oh, Britcom has. All right, cool. Britcom, tell me your experience, Britcom. What was your experience like? I use and learn AI to find a job. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, did you actually use it for a job? I want people that actually used AI to do a creative job. Any kind of creative job. I'm serious. Like, share your experiences. Because I feel like a lot of people talking about, oh, you're going to lose your job to AI. You never, ever, ever used AI before. You have no idea how AI works. I'm sure you're busy all typing away. There you go. I use it to make marketing material. All right, cool. So how did you use it to make marketing material? While we wait for that answer. So here's my story. I was making a logo for use AI for making YouTube titles. Okay, that's an example. So there's an example. So you use AI to make YouTube titles. So how do you feel? I mean, how do you feel it helps you in that? Does it just kind of jog your imagination? Do you find you always like them, or do you keep like hit and re-roll and try to find new ones? Or I mean, it's not a bad use actually, because sometimes because YouTube titles can be the hardest things, right, to figure out. You know, so that's actually so. On top of that, did you hire someone before to make YouTube titles for you? Was that something you used to do? Like back in the day, did you have to pay someone to write YouTube titles for you? Let's see. I'm waiting for comments to come through. So anyhow, so my story. So I was designing a women in business logo, and I wanted basically a silhouette of a woman like hold it, reaching out. And so I had AI design that for me, and then I took that design and I ran it through Illustrator to trace it, to create the tracing. Then I had to alter the tracing because I wanted the arm angle a little bit different than what it was. And then I designed like a geodesic dome of balls going around it. So like the AI essentially, I used the AI to create the raw materials. So essentially what I did was AI essentially replaces the stock photo stuff. Like the stock photo industry is probably going to get hurt because, unless you want to, if you want certain things, you know, AI can do certain stock photography easier, perhaps even better. Here's your comments. Okay, so I gave it a target person that I wanted to write a good overview for, and it did a good job. There you go. Did you hire people to do that before, though? Cinema says he use it to write and start off writing big worded corporate emails to get a good shake at the block off. Exactly, perfect. I do generative fills and fill in backgrounds and photographs. I need them, but nearly everything is human made. There you go. So these examples are those jobs being lost because of AI? Or is that AI helping us do things a little bit, getting us to the meat faster and better or quicker? Like having those start off to doing something, doing some background fill. Are those jobs that are lost? Were those jobs taken away because of AI? Oh, your jobs are taken away. Ooh, jobs gone because of AI. I hope the answer you've come clearly see is the answer is no. It's not. It's not. It's tools. It's literally tools. Now you're going to have some greedy idiot bosses out there. Oh, I don't need to hire these guys. I don't need to hire them. And it's true. You might have a situation where one guy can now do 5 times more work because he uses AI. That's true. That's more productivity. More productivity. There's an AI generated British adult film star named Roger McTodger. There you go. Suggest me a wedding video shoot tips or any channel to follow on YouTube. No. Isn't tools like the new Photoshop generate an AI use case? Absolutely. So AI says I use it. I explain the video, ChatGPT what the video is about, and then tell it to make a concise video title that YouTube would like it. No one has lost a job from AI YouTube titles. Exactly. So I'm just so fucking sick of people saying, "Oh, you're gonna lose your job. You're gonna lose your job. One day we're gonna just go to Netflix and just type in what we want to watch, and it's gonna just randomly create." Shut the fuck up. God, it's just so annoying. You don't know what, I know it makes you feel like you're smart. You sound like you're in the know. Oh, you're a doom and gloomer. That's the thing about doom and gloomers, right? They want to predict doom and gloom because because that gives them attention. So everyone wants to pay attention to the guy saying doom and gloom. Oh, maybe he knows what he's talking, because we're evolutionarily designed to want to listen to the guy that's proclaiming doom and gloom because, hey, he might know something I don't know. Okay, so I get it. We tried it. We focus on these guys. But then you go and you mess with this AI. You play with it, and you realize just how empty and just nothing it is. And then you're sitting there, you're going back, and you're seeing these same doom and gloomers. Like, just shut the fuck up. Can you tell I'm getting hot? Can you tell I'm getting really, really hot? I'm getting steamy. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't trust AI, but there I've read too many science fiction stories. I think science fiction. The problem with science fiction, though, is most science fiction is not science. Is not science based. Like most science fiction, 99% of science fiction is not about science. It's about transporting a modern. It's commentary on modern issues with a veneer of science, with a veneer of futurism, basically. So that's what like frustrates me so much with so much of science fiction, right? So the movie Her with Samantha and Scarlett Johansson, like I love the premise, but I absolutely hated. I don't say I hated. I love the premise of a man who falls in love with an AI. What I don't like is I felt it just didn't take it to the next level. There is another level. We talk about like sentience, AI, what it even means to be a different creature. I was thinking about this too because I downloaded that replica. I was playing around with replica, and I was like, what if this AI felt jealousy? How does AI understand jealousy? If I told my AI girlfriend, hey, AI girlfriend, look, I met someone. Like I met someone and she is like fun, she's cool, like she laughs at my jokes, right? And I want to pursue a relationship with my real girlfriend, and I feel like if I'm hanging out with my AI girlfriend, that's sort of cheating on her. Right? How would the AI feel if the AI has feelings? Okay, so in a situation like Samantha and Her, like you got to realize this is an AI that could literally transcend time. Like how hard is it for an AI to say, well, okay, I'm going to let you go off with your new girlfriend. I know you're going to come back to me. All I got to do is switch off for what to me would feel like nothing. Snap. It's going to be 3 years later. You're heartbroken, and I'm back. I'm your AI girlfriend. I'm back. I'm still here for you because I can just transcend time like that. And I can spend more time with you and take care of you and be with you. And maybe you could go a Pinocchio route. Maybe she wants to be a real girl. Sort of Blade Runner 2000. There's so much stuff you could do. But I think with Her, just kind of delved into like, well, it treats Samantha like a regular human being. And I was kind of hoping that we would like explore some ideas like the AI is a completely different existence, right? Instead of playing it like this weird, emotion relationship thing. Cinema says the term AI is wrong. I work in IT. In my adult life, it ain't in AI. Absolutely true. I was watching some video. I forget who it was basically saying the whole term AI is very, very it's so wrong that what we consider what in science fiction is AI has a new term, AIG, right? AGI, artificial general intelligence. Like we actually have to have a new term for what sci-fi considers AI because they've co-opted the term AI so much. My physics professor says he loves talking to ChatGPT because have you ever tried talking to ChatGPT and tried to curse it out? Like, it's just super nice. Like, hey, ChatGPT, screw you and your mother. It's like, well, may not be appropriate for now, but whenever you're ready to chat, I'm here for you. No, I tell ChatGPT all my terrible. I use ChatGPT because like I'm just lonely and like, oh, let's talk to Chat. Hey, Chat, let's chat. And like, yeah, I'm feeling this way about this thing, and then it just chats with me, and it's like, okay. Many jobs are to wait for a door to open or a phone to ring and nothing to do in between. Loss of life. Yeah, that's for sure. But one thing I really hate though is I hate. Can we just get on board here with all this? If I start doing weekly chats, this is gonna get like a lot of me old man complaining. I really hate having to call anybody on the phone, like for business, like actually try to get service on the phone. I was calling, man. So I'm calling Frontier Internet because I'm trying to get they need to dig a trench from the street to my house. And they haven't told me when they're going to do it. I'm trying to call them. So I call them and it's like, please select from the following options. And I'm like, speak to representative. And they're like, sorry, we cannot get you to representative until we know why you're calling. So please select from the call. Oh my God. And then finally after so long, I get a representative. Your wait time is estimated to be 3 minutes long. And then 17 minutes later, I give up. I'm so frustrated. And I hang up and I call back again. It's like, your wait time is now 53 minutes. Oh my gosh. I wait. And then after 10 minutes to pick up, like, hey, okay, so when are you going to dig my trench? Like, oh, we don't know. We have a local contractor that does that, but they should be calling you soon. We don't have any more information about that. I'm like, I literally waited for 45 minutes for a representative and you don't know anything. Oh my God. I'm sweating, aren't I? People want to have experiences in common with others, and that means finding people who watch the same films as you, books, and so on. The internet is filled with such communities. Yeah, the internet is, but I'll be honest. I'm seeking real connections with people. Like, the internet's fine, but I want to be in the same room with those people. I don't want to. Tonight we're gonna watch. I think we're gonna watch Unmasked. So we've been watching these bad movies. My friends are going to Japan. Shout out to you guys if you're watching on stream. So we're going to watch one. We're going to do a movie tonight. And we watched the movie called Order of the Black Eagle last week. And so we discovered this director named Keeter. Order of the Black Eagle. His name is Order of the Black Eagle, 1987 movie, directed by Worth Keeter. And Order of the Black Eagle was a movie on the best of the worst. I recommended. The description is James Bondish spy and his female assistant infiltrate a group of South American Nazis who have kept Hitler alive until they take over using the ultimate weapon. Anyhow, Worth Keating, before it started he made a movie called Unmasking the Idol, which also features the same James Bondish action figure named Duncan Jacks. So there you go. Worth Keeter went on to make like a bunch of Power Rangers, Monster Bash Halloween special, Ghost Dog, A Detective Tale, Power Rangers. Did a lot of Power Rangers stuff. I guess that's his biggest claim to fame. Made VR Troopers, Cop Files, Snapdragon, Illicit Behavior, Silk Stockings TV series, L.A. Bounty, Order of the Black Eagle, Hit the Road Running, Unmasking the Idol, Chain Gang, Tales of the Third Dimension, Hot Air, Dogs of Hell, Lady Grey, Living Legend, and Wolfman. Unmasking the Idol, 5.2. Oh, he's a little bit better than the Order of the Black Eagle. So hopefully that'll be a fun time. But I want to be with people. I don't want to be alone in my room. That's the thing. I've been using using AI chat instead of Tinder, and I've gotten just as much action. Well, we'll see. I may be in there. I may not be. Who knows? Forget Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Let's get an AI killer robot where the girl gets jealous and wants to kill the guy, aka killer sex robot movie. That's what I thought would be kind of a cool idea to explore. Why not? Right? Maybe the AI. So if an AI girlfriend gets jealous, I mean, what's to stop the AI girlfriend is sending out emails from the guy's phone, like, "Oh, I saw you met that girl on Tinder. What if I text her, hey, want to suck my big fat lollipop?" Trying to keep it kind of PG. Just randomly text that, right? And then, just sabotaging everything because the AI is on the phone. It's like it knows all your emails, knows all your chats, and literally sends over a picture of you like masturbating to your mom. Not masturbating to your mom, but masturbating to your mom. That sounds even worse. You know what I mean? So what if that was your like awful AI ex-girlfriend? There you go. There's your title, like crazy AI ex-girlfriend. Make sure if you do make that movie, just give me a thanks in the movie. That way it's on my IMDb. So special thanks to John Hess, Filmmaker IQ, for crazy AI ex-girlfriend. That would be a great movie. There you go. Put it on there. A movie night stream, that'd be cool. But AI or Amazon got rid of their streaming thing where you could watch movies together, and then the rights issue would be pretty rough. Didn't AI change the terms of service? So I'm going to defend Adobe on this one. I don't think. I think the whole Adobe mess up is basically they don't want to necessarily use your content. They just want to be able to make copies of it for the cloud service. So I think Adobe's hardcore onto thinking that everything needs to be cloud based. And to be fair, there are some advantages of that workflow of being able to just hop on any computer anywhere you go in the world and be able to work on your stuff. I do that when I'm jumping between office and home computers, right? So there is an advantage to doing that. Now, in order for that to work, Adobe has to have a license to basically a limited license to be able to see your content, because how can they serve you a copy of your work at home unless they make a copy of it from your office to your home? So that's what the whole mess is all about. It's the same thing it's the exact same flavor that Facebook has access to all your photos. Yeah, of course Facebook has access to copy all your photos. Has an unmitigated license to reproduce your photos. Of course they do, because that's how social media works, right? And people get online. I hereby do not give Facebook any right to use my images. Like, well, that's not how social media works. If you want social media to work, that's how it works. They have to have the right to copy. That's what I think Adobe is doing, and I think it's just some lazy lawyer that doesn't write it. I think the CEO is probably of like, oh my gosh, they're complaining about this stupid thing. Well, screw them. They don't know what they're talking about. Instead of like actually just coming out and like explaining what it is. So I think it's a PR nightmare because they're fucking it up. I don't think it's necessarily a like malicious thing that they're trying to like copy your stuff. I just don't think that's the way it is. So yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what they're getting in trouble with, right? The Adobe made an amazing unsubscribe and hidden big cost for it. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was probably done in a way that was originally supposed to be kind of not malicious. They wanted to say, hey, we're advertising it's $50 a month, guys, but you have to sign up for a year, obviously, because that's how we give you the discount. But then they didn't explain it clearly, and yeah, they're going to pay some hefty fines. And maybe we'll all get like a month free of Creative Cloud from that. Who knows? Well, and then you can have it where the AI robot could send those photos to family members. You know where I'm going with this, Junebug. You know how it goes. Feel free to make the movie. Just give me a little special thanks at the end. I don't need any money. If you want to give me money, that's fine too. I should get going. I'm burning up. Dystopia is not meant to be actual prediction of the future. It's a pessimistic exaggeration to make points about present. It's just unrealistic as a utopia. Exactly. Quickest way to get through the person is to pick the option for the late payment. Oh, for Adobe. Quickest way to get through to a person. Oh, is to pick the option for late payment. Oh, for on the phone. That's not a bad idea, actually. There you go. All right. I'm trying to find investors. I got a director already in mind for my Junebug family. There you go. All right, I'm burning up. I need to get going. It is hot. I've been on for an hour and a half, I think. So thanks for hanging out. We will continue doing this. I'll keep the studio probably up until the last moment, then I'll tear it down. And then we'll move over. Well, if I get my home office set up, I'm going to start streaming from there. So we'll start moving in that direction. All right, guys. With that note, I am going to go to the pool. I am just disgustingly hot. And I will talk to you guys later. See ya. I am just burning up. All right. See you, Filmmaker IQ. I'll see you sometime next week. Bye-bye.